it was very lonely, very quiet. All of a sudden, everyone disappeared. Like, it was just, everyone disappeared, and then the reality hits. Yeah.
We took a break at a very pivotal point of this story, and that is the burial of your dad. First and foremost, the thing about I can even still feel the rawness of the emotion, and you're so good at telling stories, so you sort of teleport us there, and we feel a fraction, a 100th of what it is that you're going through. But because you're so good at painting the picture and giving context to the situation, I'm understanding it as best as I can. It is extremely difficult. First and foremost, there's the sudden passing of your dad, the unexpectedness of it.
Yeah.
Number two, there's the closeness that you had with your dad. So even when you tell the memory of him, like, he's a superstar in this.
Yes.
He's a complete superstar.
Completely.
But number three, your transition period of him is not, the grown-ups are not playing their role, which should be helping the child at best that they can transition.
Yes.
Granted, they are also going through their own transition, but the bickering, the fighting, it's not helping anyone.
It's not. And the one thing adults don't realize is children, no matter what age, they can tell, they can remember, and they are also going through it. Like, I can't tell what my sister was going through. And one thing I thank God for is making the decision, because we chose not to go for lunch that day. So that would have been, my smaller sister was in kindergarten.
Wow.
Because my smaller sister was actually in kindergarten, but now she was in a fancy one, in Kaloleni C1. Upgrade. You know, we had started doing well for ourselves. And I am 12 years old, right? Because I'm in class 8 at this point. And then there's the middle child who, my sister had seen my dad from the moment they got to him, and he took that water and he started vomiting and he didn't stop. All the way to the hospital, because my mom at this point is not processing I have a child here. She's processing the emergency situation.
Yes.
So she's with my sister, and they are together in all this. She's panicking. She's calling everyone. She's calling relatives, because my dad is like, call everyone. I want to speak with everyone. So he called all of them, and they were all surrounding him.
So your dad was aware of what was happening?
Yes.
Did they later on tell you what happened?
Yes. Not the family. Remember, I could read.
No, in terms of the doctors, did they later on tell you the cause of what was happening?
I got to know myself because I saw what was written on the death certificate, right? And this is the good thing about knowing how to, learning where to get information at that time. But the doctors had already told my mom what was happening. And they were actually counseling her for what's coming. And the doctors also were saying, there's nothing we can do for him here, not unless he's airlifted to Nairobi, where he has higher chances. But what we're seeing right now, he had lost too much blood.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what's then the funeral transition like?
So funeral transition, I remember the long trip to the rural home, my dad's rural home. it was such a long trip because we have all this family. I remember family, my relatives from my mom's place going there for a second time. The first time they were there, it was to receive my mom's dowry, which all my kissy aunts were there, and they sang for like 3 nights on, and it was all celebration. And now they're coming to support my mom, transport him to his final resting place, right? So it was it was by road. It was more than 4 hours. I think it took 6 hours, because I remember it was a whole day. And I remember seeing my mom, but my mom was very quiet. My mom was not talking much. Throughout, my mom was not talking much. My aunts trying to, to cheer us up but I was there. You had asked me a question. Was that the last time I saw my dad? And yeah, the last time I saw him was the breakfast morning, because I made a conscious decision to refuse to see him in a box. Yeah, because I wanted the last memory to be the strong person that he was. Yeah.
Okay.
So this journey is long. I remember learning my first Luo song. Taught by my aunt in trying to lift up the spirits for 8 hours.
That's funny.
For 8 hours, because it's a long journey. Transporting a body home is not easy. And the traditions behind it, the timing that it has to be done. And then I remember arriving there. My dad had built a house back at the rural home, because he was the last born son of a family of 8. So I'm coming from very big families, right? Family of 8.
Family of 7 on this side, family of 8.
Yeah, and he was the last born son. So in my father's culture, is the last born sons inherits the homestead. Yes,
it happens.
So he had to build. So he had built. Remember, we had our 1-roomed house. He had built a 4-bedroomed house.
Wow.
Yes, 4-bedroomed house, modern furnishing in this house back in our rural place. So I had a bedroom, man. I finally had a bedroom. And we had a fence, a big one at that, right? Yeah. So back in the rural home. So I remember the discussions around how the body should enter the homestead, right? And I remember when we got to a distance before the homestead, then I started hearing screams. And that's when it dawns on you. See, this whole 8-hour journey, you're not realizing what's happening, right? But when I saw my aunts just turned into, they started also crying, and everybody was crying, and there was just loud. It was so loud, and everybody crying. I went into the house to just be away from all the crying. And in the Luo culture is it can be quite dramatic.
It's part of the mourning process.
Yes, it is. It's part of the culture. It's a very big part of the culture, that also the people who are waiting for the body back home also come and receive, and it's just a whole how it's done. There's order to it in terms of how it's done, and also the body has to sleep overnight. And all this time I'm close, but I don't want to see. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And so the first night, slept, prayers, but I remember seeing this whole tent. The previous year, the year before that, we had just buried our grandma, right? And she was also diabetic, and my dad took a lot after her. And I'm actually named after my grandma and my dad, right? So quite interesting. So I remember seeing people digging his final resting place. I remember all these visitors that, they're all strangers, but it's everybody who would come, and it was a lot of people. Yeah, I remember a lot of people. The next day, also his friends from work, and he was a very jovial guy. So he had a charm with people.
Yeah.
Right. And remember, he used to also be the guy you go borrow money from, right?
Did you check that book, by the way?
Oh yes, that was part of the whole
collection
as well. Yes, the whole collection. Because my mom did a smart thing with that book. She literally took it to the workplace, to the boss, and it came from a Chekhov system.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So it wasn't like everybody give when you can.
No. She was like, this is what is what.
This is what is what.
Remove from the top.
Yes.
Like tax.
And that's why, there was all this.
Oh, I get it. Lump sum.
Yes, lump sum. And yeah. But even during his last moments, he was already preparing. My uncle, you do this. You do this. I want you to support her with this. I know she doesn't have this. You do this. So he was still,
Wow.
organizing.
Wow.
Yeah, and I remember he even refused to take any further, because he knew this is it. So he just wanted to spend final moments with the family.
Wow. That's so honorable of him.
Yeah.
Also shows his character. He's such a planner.
He was organized to the T. Very organized. That black book.
Yeah.
And the one thing he used to do, Richie, was, remember he taught me how to sign. He taught me, and every time he would make entries, he would teach me, credit and debit. He would teach me all that during all this time. But I didn't know why. But he was such a planner, because I think the first time he got this car was when I was in the lower primary, back when he was diagnosed with diabetes here. So come funeral, right? Funeral comes, and there's mass, of course. I remember my grandfather, my late grandfather also, because he couldn't take it after that. He was devastated. He gave a speech, and one thing he said is, I have lost one of my most wise sons.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you speak at the funeral? You didn't?
No, we didn't get to speak. We were there, but we were not there. We were not seen at all. Not at all. It was just my grandfather spoke. My uncles were outside the country, all professors and all. You know how it goes back in most Luo homes where they study and they go for further studies and they're all living abroad. So yes, but I remember my grandfather also having the same belief in terms of, this was my son, and like, you've taken away my son. And he was really, really deep into it. I remember his speech. My mom didn't speak. Then there was my other uncle also gave a speech, and then work, and then it was burial. And Richie, the moment I had silence was immediately after the burial. It was pin drop silence. Because the burial was during the day, and immediately after the burial and people leaving their homestead, then there was finally this pin drop silence. And I remember going into our house, and
The one your dad built.
yeah, the one my dad built, because that was our rural home was much more cooler than our townhouse, right? And it was very lonely, very quiet. All of a sudden, everyone disappeared. Like it was just everyone disappeared, and then the reality hit. I remember that because we stayed longer, a little bit longer, and then we had to go back because now schools have opened already, and we have to go back to school. Yeah, because all this period, he died on April 15th. And 2003, yes, my class 8 year. This is the class 8 year, remember? And schools opened, and I went to school late because the whole burial took almost 4 weeks. So I had missed school opening. And I remember going back to school, and a lot happened after, because in school we had a culture of people would raise funds, like when you lose your parent or you lose a relative, people would raise funds, right? And I remember going back to school and they were doing that, and I'm in class 8, and this teacher tells me to go out of the class so that he can talk to my classmates and tell them, hey, you guys, you have not raised funds, and she's come back. And the feeling it gave me was things have changed, and I felt like, do we need funds? I felt really, it still hits me, like it still, this has actually happened. Life is not going back to normal. It's still, you still have these reminders, right? I remember going into assembly and being handed this, because the funds will be handed to you in cash, right? And it was a heavy bag. It was a heavy bag. It had coins, notes, and everything all together. I don't know why they couldn't. Times were back then. Cash was king, right? And I was given this whole bag in assembly in front of the entire school, because it's the entire school that had contributed, right? And I was given, and my sister was also in the same school, in primary school as well, the same school. And we were given the money to take back to our mother back at home. And I remember this time we had a neighbor in Kalolenisi, just across the road, who was also my teacher, and she became very close as well, because she was like, she had also lost her husband, so she became very close to my mom, and she would check in constantly. Nice. Yes.
So there's some good people in Kalolenisi.
Oh yes. all through, actually, there were some very good neighbors as well. Very good. Apart from the children being cheeky, but
kids being kids.
Yes. The neighborhood was really, really good. So I remember that.
Sorry.
And going back to school was a hit on me that year, because this is second term.
Oh man.
And then third term is very short, because the exams used to be in November, the first week of November. By date 5/7, you're done with your KCPE exam, which is the Kenya Primary Certificate of Education exam, to determine if you'll go to high school, right? And it was because we went back to the same house.
Yes.
right?
Man.
And
So you're feeling the vacuum instant.
it was instant. It was instant. It was instant, yes.
Wow. I mean, I recently lost my dad, but I'm an adult. I didn't live with him. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's easier, but it's easier
Yeah.
because he's transitioned me out of childhood into adulthood. I can't have imagined losing him at that stage. So I can only imagine. And in your story, you keep talking about the guy who taught you how to make ugali, the guy who cooks, the guy who's giving you the hero pen. So
Yeah.
I don't even understand what that vacuum was like.
It was big, and what I remember is no one talking to us about it. It wasn't mentioned. It wasn't. We never had a conversation about it.
For real?
Yes.
So between your mom and in the house?
Within the house, no. Within the family, no.
You just went on?
Because everybody is dealing with it differently. So, yeah, there wasn't any conversation. I think people assume we just go back to, life as usual, but no, it's a bit different because there are changes to the daily routines, remember?
Oh, yeah.
The breakfast, every lunchtime, he would always come back home. He was the guy who had the luxury to come back home every lunchtime. Because of diabetic, he had a different meal and everything, right? So, yes, he would come back home. Every evening, he would be home. So we've missed that. What I also didn't mention is we used to do so many things together because like on Sunday, we would go to mass together, right? We would go to the national park together as well. He loved that. He really did. And we would always go to the park. Even if it's not going inside, there was always a stretch where you can walk right before the two main gates. And you would see like animals still. So that routine is lost. But the body takes time and the mind takes time to adjust.
Wow.
To that is no longer there. So the breakfast became, like, okay, I don't want to let me just go to school. Such things. You tend to, it takes time even for children as well. Yeah.
To somebody watching, what would you advise them to do in a situation like that? Because sometimes I just realize yes, people are mourning, but then also they don't have the information of what, like, until you've said it now is when I'm just like, wow.
Yeah. I think first thing, I think it's different because I think they all put us into one bucket. I felt like my system needed more support, right? Because the middle bone, because she went through the entire. And she received it raw, right? And she needed more
counseling.
Counseling, yes. And then there was us where, in as much as we were kids, we would see and know what's happening. But we're taking a long time to figure it out, right? We just needed somebody to say, okay, this is what has happened, because it wasn't the first time, because I remember even when he was in the hospital before, right? Talking to children about death as well, right? And loss.
Okay.
Loss. It's something that it's not a normal conversation in our households back at home to have.
Especially
we don't talk about,
right?
We don't talk about death. We don't involve the children in this because we believe these are more like adults have the more tenacity to go through, but also for children they're going through it, and these are conversations that you have to prepare your children for. Yeah.
Okay.
And just professional help, but I think also transparency around what's going on, so that children don't try to make,
Don't try to fill in the gaps.
yes, trying to fill in the gaps, because all this time we were in the dark. We're being plugged in a little because of circumstance. Like we had to go be measured. That's why we had to go home, right? Because back then the tailor would
Yes.
come and would measure you.
I get it.
Yeah, that's why we went home, and that's why we got to see there's a wake at home. And then the next time we're going home, we're seeing there's a body, and people are coming to view the body, and then they viewed shortly, and then we have to transport it. And that's why I couldn't deal with.
I get it.
Right? So yeah. I think having open conversations around loss with children and what happens after. Because during, there's a lot of noise. But Richie, immediately that body was laid to rest, it was pin drop silence. People have left. No one is checking, people have left.
Wow.
So the after as well. What happens in the after? Yeah.
Like the lady who would go and see your mom, your neighbor. That
is support now, the after support.
Wow.
Yes. And I think she did that because she had already gone through it.
Yes, exactly. She understood what it
meant. Yes.
Okay. So you're in class 8?
I'm in class 8. Getting to just, I'm having I don't want to have weird conversations with my classmates around
what's happened.
I don't want to cry. I don't remember crying. I don't want to. I'm just there. But then I have my sisters who I don't know what they're going through as well. There's my mom who has to be strong because she has to, right? And she has to continue. And then I feel like I have to also help her. And we continue with the routine, like she would cook the tea and everything, and I would help her to take it to the stage, which was like, that stage was like 300, 400 meters away. And I used to carry hot tea, Richie. So they would put it in a bag. She would cook it, put it in 5-liter jerrycans, right? And then I would carry 3 of them, and they're hot on my back. So I would carry them like this all the way to the stage, because my dad used to transport them with his bicycle. But he's not there anymore.
The change,
yes. He's not there anymore, so we have to do it. I had to take like 2 trips before school every morning. New routine. Yes. So that goes on, and time passed by so fast. Now I am doing my exams, right? And I remember having my final exam, and it was quick. I think it was 3 days. Kind of certificate of primary education is so fast, right? You study for 8 years for
3 days.
3-day exam.
They determine the rest of your life.
To determine,
or
which
the direction.
school,
Yes.
Yeah, whether you'll go to the one across the road or not, right? So, I did my exam, and I remember being very, very worried, like, which high school now? Because before, my dad's side of the family are very they're into studies a lot, right? And my cousins will be in the Kenya highs, in the Limuru girls, right? And even as we're having conversations when I'm doing homework and all that with my dad, it'll always go, you will go to Limuru girls, or but then he will be like, no, that place is very cold, you'll go to Kenya High. And he never talked to me about local schools. No, it was Nairobi, my friend. You aim higher. So but now I'm worried, like, what does because future hold, because primary school was free, right? High school is not. High school is not. So did my exam, and then come the results. The results were announced immediately after Christmas. Thank God they used to be announced.
Not before.
Not before.
Let it not spoil the Christmas.
I go to check out my results. I'm so worried. I want to know. I don't want to know. I am worried. I think that feeling of the panic behind the results, that you've studied for 8 years. I go see my results, and boom, I have 317 marks out of 500.
300. Wow, that's good.
No.
317.
Yeah.
About average of how many out of 500?
Out of 500.
That's what, an average of 60. About.
Yeah, but doesn't get you to Kenya High.
Oh, yes, it doesn't.
Right? Doesn't get you to the national schools. That's where I was prepared.
Did you normally used to score around that?
I used to score above 350s, and I was aiming for 370.
Yes.
So, and then I get to a much better school. But no, I get 317 marks. And my mom was happy. Because my mom was happy because our neighbors never even used to announce their marks.
That's funny.
Yeah. So she's super proud of me. Then I got called to a provincial school, not a national school, because we had national schools and then provincial schools.
Yes.
So I got called to a provincial school, and it's a day school.
What's it called?
Flamingo Secondary School. And again, the names, Flamingo next to the park. I'm still within this park. The park is not leaving me. Park is not leaving me,
it's
Richie.
Going nowhere.
Just bear with me, right? Flamingo again. I've seen them. So I got called to Flamingo Secondary School, but it's a day school. I don't want to go to a day school. And I'm like, that's not a school for me. Why? It's for me, it was provisional, yes, but it was too close to home, right? But I've seen home. So, I'm in Kaloleni, then I'm going to Flamingo Primary School, which is next to Bondeni. It's actually in Bondeni area, which I have to pass through Kivumbini Estate to go to. I'm like, no. And my mom was already convinced I'm not going to that school. We're preparing you for a boarding school, and that's what now she starts looking for. The first one she did was Marymount. Marymount is in Albagon, very cold area. Still very close to within Nakuru. Very close to Nakuru, right? I go for the boarding schools, these were Catholic schools, right? You have to do another test. because everybody wants their child to go there as well, because they're considered disciplined. You know, it's a nice school. People pass in there and people think, okay, if I take my child to a good school, then that's it. So I go to Marymount to do the exam. We were over 500 there.
Wow.
Over 500
doing exams, trying to get in.
Girls, because this was girls' boarding school, doing an exam, trying to get in, and they only needed 40.
Wow.
I went there, did that. I didn't make the mark.
Wow.
Didn't hit the mark at all. So while we were at Marymount, my mom is talking, you know, she's connecting with other people. She's trying to see where else and all that. She got to learn about another school. This now is Arodi, which is now in Solai area. She got, and it's a convent school and everything, and she gets to learn about it. So I had to. After that, we went to Arodi, which is in Solai. I did an exam there as well.
Same day.
No, it was the same day because it's a distance. They're quite a distance. I think within the same week. Within the same week, then I get called to Arodi High School.
And what year is this that you begin?
And now this is 2004.
2004.
Yeah, because I finished my 2008. I finished my 2003. Sorry, yes. I finished my class 8 after a long year of 2003. Then 2004. Come February, because January was a whole. We were away from school a whole January because the exams were announced later after Christmas, and then parents had to be given time to prepare the schools to transition into high school. So we joined in February.
February 2004.
2004, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's take a quick break. Change some batteries. We're coming back.
Okay.